साडी शान देखो मान सम्मान देखो पंजाबी मुंडे जिवे खड़ी है चट्टान देखो साडी पहचान देखो चंगा मैदान देखो
I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. The Podfather is back once again, the reigning, defending, undisputed Bulletcast champion. And I'm joined by the King of the Hill in his humble abode. Take it away, Chris.
What's cracking? CDP in the house. Don't play all day. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited, Podfather. I'm excited because I haven't talked to you for a couple of weeks. Maybe the Bulletcast audience wanted to listen to me a little bit. I don't know. I'm ready to be back.
But we are back, and as you can tell by the title of this and the song that we played, because it's pretty dope, we are doing a wrestler analysis of the former United States and WWE champion, the modern-day Maharaja, my boy Jinder Mahal.
Let's throw some love to the mid-card. Let's throw some love to Jinder. Jinder worked hard in 2017. People are hating him in 2018. What's going on?
I don't know. People are still hating on Jinder. Brandon and Mitchell still hating on my boy Mahal. I don't get it.
First of all you need to do is look at Jinder Mahal and know that guy looks like a champion.
We're going to get into the way he looks, and we're going to get into that. But let's start it off. So he had a stint in Florida Championship Wrestling, WWE's developmental brand that eventually became NXT. In 2010 through 2011. Alright, he makes his appearance finally on the main roster on April 29th of 2011 in an episode of SmackDown greeting Rajan Singh and the worst wrestler of all time, the Great Khali. Alright.
Hey, the Great Khali saved him, bro. Come on.
I don't know. Alright, so, and then we get into Mahal really get into his villainous character. He starts to have feuds with people who he feels like are beneath him. He has a couple matches with Jey Uso, and then he goes around and defeats Vladimir Kozlov, that was an interesting match. I actually remember that one.
I mean, his first WWE run, right? It wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great leading up to. I mean, maybe one special moment, one highlight, right? 3MB. Right, is probably the one that people remember him the most. But for the most part, Jinder just swam around that mid card.
He did. On the July 1st episode of SmackDown, it was revealed that Mahal was married to Khali's sister, making them kayfabe brother-in-laws. Brother.
Oh, yeah. Could you imagine if that's what Khali looks like, what his sister looks like?
Oh, God.
I mean...
Oh, God. On the September 5th episode of Raw, he suffered his first loss when he and Khali lost to the tag team champions Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston. Air Boom at the time. Air Boom, baby. It was a nice one, you know. So on the October 14th episode of SmackDown in 2011, Mahal competed in a 41-man battle royal, the largest battle royal in WWE history at the time. And Mahal made it to the final three before being eliminated by Randy Orton. Although Mahal's first big feud came in 2011, later on that year in November, when Mahal targeted wrestlers that were deemed to be beneath him or harassing the company, or embarrassing the company, So Mahal began a feud with Ted DiBiase Jr.
Okay.
Priceless, former World Tag Champion. Deemed himself the $1 Million Champ just like his daddy did back in the day. Alright, so Mahal broke DiBiase's winning streak on the December 30th episode of SmackDown in 2011. Then Mahal tried to make a name for himself and went after Sheamus, the first. And so yeah, that was a little interesting thing. I didn't really work out for Mahal, obviously.
Yeah, it's tough to go after Sheamus in kind of the height of Sheamus's Sheamusness.
Sheamusness.
I mean, that was like at the height of the red hair, just on fire.
That was at the height of the red hair. Alright, so in the 2012 Royal Rumble, Mahal was eliminated by the Great Khali, rekindling their feud and leading to a match on the February 3rd episode of SmackDown.
Don't do your brother-in-law like that over the top rope.
They
could have teamed up and they could have ran that Royal Rumble.
They could have ran it. They could have ran all through it, but they didn't. Mahal lost that match, and then Over the Limit 2012 May 20th, Mahal participated and lost in a battle royal, where the winner would receive a shot at the Intercontinental or United States Championship when he was again eliminated by the Great Khali. So Khali was really getting him, man.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, like, wikis aside, right? Like, not a very storied history so far in his young WWE career, because he wasn't Jinder Mahal yet, right?
He wasn't the Maharaja.
Not the Maharaja yet. when he went to NXT is probably my first kind of memory of Jinder Mahal. You know, he lost to Seth Rollins for the championship for the NXT strap.
We can get into that.
WWE. The very first NXT champion.
I know. WWE rebranded the FCW territory as NXT. Mahal began appearing in the reboot of NXT. He was on the August 8th episode in 2012 where Mahal was inserted to the Gold Rush tournament to crown the first ever NXT champion, where he defeated Bo Dallas, a former NXT champion, in the first round on the August 15th episode in 2012.
Yep.
He would go on to defeat Richie Steamboat.
Yeah.
Son of a legend, man.
Son of the legend, kicked his ass.
Him. And in the semifinals of the Gold Rush tournament on August 29th episode of NXT, Mahal was defeated by Seth Rollins in the finals to become the first NXT champion, thus breaking Mahal's NXT winning streak.
Yeah, dude. If you haven't gone back and watched that,
I've seen it.
On the network, it was cool.
It was cool. It was decent. It was fine.
It was fine. You know, Seth Rollins goes over, of course. That's a good moment for him, starting his big time WWE run. You know, Seth Rollins that we all know now. But Jinder was in there, right? He was in the title picture at one point in NXT.
Yeah. Night of Champions pre-show, September 16, 2012. Mahal competed in a 60-man battle royal for the number one contendership for the United States title, but was eliminated by Brodus Clay.
the dancing dude.
Yes. All right, but on the September 21st, 2012 edition of SmackDown, Mahal and Drew McIntyre interfered in Heath Slater's match against Brodus Clay by attacking Clay. The alliance of Mahal, Slater, and McIntyre were later named 3MB. It's a three-man band, baby.
3MB. That's what everybody remembers of Jinder's first.
Hey, all three of them are on Raw right now. We'll get into that, but yeah, that is kind of what everybody remembers them as. I mean, Slater, he was kind of just there. You know, he's in the Nexus, the core. Mahal, he was this rich, arrogant guy, and who was bred from royalty supposedly. And then Drew McIntyre, he was kind of the Hunter Hearst Helmsley of that day.
The beast.
You know, the chosen one. Vince chose him personally, handpicked him. You know.
Hey, he's back home on Raw. Yeah. Vince is right there. You know.
We'll see. We will see. But yeah, they were deemed 3MB, and it was a very, very interesting time. You know. From October 2012, 3MB racked up many wins against Team Cobra, Santino Marella, and Zack Ryder. I forgot that was a thing. They defeated the Usos at Survivor Series pre-show November 18th of 2012. What did they do? I'm trying to read it here. Oh, Mahal and Slater defeated Santino Marella and Ryder again. So they were really just racking up some wins. TLC of that year, they defeated the team of Alberto Del Rio and the Brooklyn Brawler and the Miz. Yeah, they were getting some kind of a push here, man.
Yeah, 3MB was the hot thing at that time, if you remember, you know. It was good, man. Hey, Slater with the long hair.
Oh, see, Slater with the long hair. Long hair.
Drew McIntyre looking like a beast. And Jinder Mahal, you know, I mean, big dude. Privilege. Man, come on, coming in. It was all right.
It was something. It was interesting, you know. All right, in late 2013,
they let him go, right? Like right after that, after that push, he was pretty much gone, right?
He was there in 2014. I'm trying to see. So in late 2013, 3MB began adopting new ring names against their opponents, although their misfortunes and unamounting losses remained the same. At WrestleMania 30, Mahal competed in the first ever Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, was eliminated by Mark Henry. In April, 3MB...
Black Power ranking, bro.
Hey, Black Power ranking. All day. In April of that year, 2014, 3MB formed an alliance with Hornswoggle to feud with Los Matadores, Diego, and Fernando.
That's horrible. Let's move on from this history. This history makes me depressed.
All right.
It sucks.
On June 12th of 2014, WWE announced that Mahal was no longer under contract with them.
Yeah, get him the hell out of here. Get that jabron out of WWE. Get your ass out of here, Jinder Mahal. We don't want you anymore.
Oh, man. So, in 2014 through 2016, Mahal wrestled on the indie circuit. He went to Reality of Wrestling, Booker T's promotion, and he wrestled over there. He wrestled in various other promotions, All-Star Wrestling, Continental Wrestling Entertainment, WWC, IGF. You know, he wrestled all over the place for quite some time.
Anybody who would pay him money.
Former WWE side.
Hey, remember me? I used to be in 3MB.
Oh, of course.
Did that rhyme?
No, some of the things that led to Mahal's release, he was drinking, he didn't really care. He didn't want to be on TV, he just wanted to sit in the back and eat catering.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was
allegedly, right?
I mean, that's what happens to, like, a lot of guys. Happened to Hornswoggle. He got kind of chunky, he just didn't want to be there, didn't like the spot he was in.
Check it out. When you're on Vince's mid-card and you're not tasting that belt, and you're not tasting those meaningful feuds, you're not making money, right?
No,
you're not on the pay-per-views.
They're still making money. They still get paid. They're just sitting back there.
Not as much.
Yeah, not as much,
Right? And you're not selling the merch. You're not doing anything else. And the guy that's big like Jinder, and who had some television time and some meaningful matches against Seth Rollins and everything for championships. I mean, to not get a push, I mean, that's got to be probably you probably got to get a little sour on your attitude, I think.
You might have to. All right, so in 2016 on July 7th, it was announced that Mahal would be returning to WWE on the August 1st episode of Raw. Mahal returned to television alongside Heath Slater, demanding contracts until the Raw general manager at the time, Mick Foley, informed the pair that they had to face off against each other in a match for a Raw contract. Mahal won, got the contract. Throughout the rest of the month, Mahal began losing to the likes of Neville, Sami Zayn, and Darren Young.
Yeah, Jesus. Let's hit the pause button really quick. When Mahal jumps through that apron back into Raw, he looked entirely different, right? I mean, we got to talk about the look at this point, right?
I looked back when he first came back in 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't look the way he looks now, but he looked decent. Looked like he got a little bit more tone. I was like, okay, all right, because when he first started to look like he looks now, I went back and looked. I'm like, okay, you can definitely see the change or whatever. But
I mean, it's drastic. It's drastic, dude.
I forgot about this. After all those losses, Mahal would adopt the gimmick of a man who comes with peace and tranquility. On the September 12th episode of Raw, Mahal stated that after he left the WWE, he felt anger and rage, and had since found inner peace.
That sucks.
Before defeating Jack Swagger.
I'm glad that sucks, and they got rid of that damn quick. Because the modern day Maharaja is the persona, is the gimmick. That's the money one.
Alright, on December 19th episode of Monday Night Raw in 2016, a notably more lean and muscular Jinder Mahal began an alliance with Rusev after Mahal had a confrontation with Rusev's rival Enzo Amore, who we don't really speak of anymore. And then on the January 2nd, 2017 edition of Monday Night Raw, Mahal and Rusev defeated Amore's tag team partner Big Cass in a 2-on-1 handicap match. The following week on Raw, Mahal lost to Cass, who had Shawn Michaels at ringside after Michaels performed Sweet Chin music on Rusev at ringside, which distracted Mahal. On the February 27th episode of Monday Night Raw, Mahal and Rusev began to show tension. Rusev distracted Mahal, causing them to lose to the team of the New Day, which would involve Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, obviously. The alliance between Mahal and Rusev ended at Fastlane on March 5th, 2017. Mahal informed Raw General Manager Mick Foley about his desire to return to singles competition, prompting Foley to place the duo in singles matches that night, and with both Mahal and Rusev losing their respective matches against Cesaro and Big Show. This was done due to Rusev suffering a legit leg injury. Or shoulder injury, sorry. Alright.
Whatever, dude. He came back and he looked like a freaking beast, dude. Straight up. Like, to look that chiseled and that beastly and that good, I mean, that sucks. That guy's in the gym at least 6 to 8 hours a day. He probably eats nothing but, like, boiled chicken and, like, steamed broccoli. It probably sucks ass to, like, look that good. But I'm telling you, man, like, when that dude jumped through that freaking apron or through the curtain from backstage, gorilla, whatever the fuck it's called. I mean, I don't even know anymore. And dude just came out and he just looked like a beast. Right then and there, you knew that, like, dude, Jinder's got something going on. There's just some sort of new swagger there that associates with you when you look like a freaking monster. I mean, the dude comes out in a turban, dude. I mean, straight up. I mean, let's talk about this. I mean, he's a brown dude that pops out in an apron that looks like a freaking monster. I mean, that's it. That's the gimmick, dude. Sign the check.
It's very true.
This is why Vince pushed him. This is why he had the belt. We're not talking Universal Championship. We're talking the title. And we're not talking a month, 2 months,
talking like a 6-month reign.
We're talking half a year pushing house shows, pushing pay-per-views. There's a pay-per-view every month. He's on one brand. He defended it 4 times. I mean, yeah. And people want to talk about how ho-hum this little transition to Raw is. No, man, this guy is being brought up to feud with the big boys. The big boys with the belt. I believe it, man. Because if you are not over 250 and over 6'4" in the Raw division, you can kiss any sniffing of that Universal Championship. Goodbye, Kevin Owens. I'm talking to you. Jinder Mahal is there, and he's there to make a statement, right?
Yeah.
Number 1 heel on Raw.
Let's get into it. So, WrestleMania 33, the kickoff show, April 3rd, 2017. Mahal was the runner-up in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Got some interference by Rob Gronkowski, which led to Mojo Rawley winning.
Dude, that was so fun. That was so fucking funny. I was sitting here watching that, just cracking up, dude.
Yes.
Like, what is Gronk doing there? And now we're fueling rumors about Gronk coming. I mean, Jinder's still going to be there when Gronk decides to be in the WWE.
Oh, of course. Alright, the April 11th episode of SmackDown in 2017, Mahal was traded over to SmackDown in the Superstar Shakeup. Now, this was one of the major shockers. On the April 18th episode of SmackDown in 2017, Jinder Mahal won a 6-pack challenge that also involved Mojo Rawley, Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, and Sami Zayn to become the number 1 contender to the WWE Championship that was held by Randy Orton at the time. His new alliance with the Singh brothers, Samir and Sunil, is what helped him get start going.
That was a shocker, man. That was really a shocker.
I was like,
remember
yo, wait,
that night.
what?
When Jinder won? What?
Yes.
Run down that lineup again really quick.
Ziggler, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Sami Zayn, Mojo Rawley. So, I mean, the 2 names that I jumped, like a Ziggler or Harper, I thought it was going to be Harper. I thought,
Harper's finally going to get his push, right?
Like, I mean, Bruiser Brody was never world champion, so is this guy this generation's Bruiser Brody? Are we going to get this guy a world strap? That's what I was thinking. But then Mahal, he beat Sami Zayn with a Colossus, and I'm like, yo, what's going on here?
See, I thought this was Mojo's push, right? I thought, like, just test the water really quick. You know, where it's after WrestleMania. We're kind of going into our slow period. Let's see if we give a push to Mojo. And then Jinder, right?
Yeah.
And that was fresh off of the Superstar Switch-Up, right?
Yeah.
That was fresh off of him coming to SmackDown for the first time.
Yeah, so they were going to feud at Backlash, but before that happens, Orton and Mahal have a few encounters. Mahal steals the WWE Championship from Orton at one point.
That was badass.
Yes.
I love that storytelling, right? Like, if you're not going to give me the belt, like, right away when I feel like I deserve it, I'm just going to snatch that from you. That was a dirty trick, dude.
Yeah.
That was mean.
That scene of Mahal in the limo holding up the championship. But then, April 30th, at the Payback event, right here in San Jose, right here in the Bay Area, 2017, Jinder Mahal interferes in the House of Horrors match.
Yeah.
Attacks Randy Orton. So Bray Wyatt picks up the win. And all those people were chanting Jinder Mahal.
I was in the crowd.
I was there too.
It was awesome.
All I heard was Jinder, Jinder.
It was the best part of the House of Horrors, right?
It was amazing.
I mean, Jinder Mahal arrived. Jinder Mahal arrived. I mean, can we talk about the entrance? Can we talk about the big, like, Punjabi Bollywood celebration entrance that was associated with these kind of big pushes here? Man?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into that.
I mean, man,
let's talk about
let's talk about the Maharaja.
I know. Let's talk about the match right now. So on May 21st, 2017, at Backlash, Jinder Mahal shocked the world by beating Randy Orton for the most prestigious prize in professional wrestling, the WWE Championship.
It wasn't pretty. It was clunky. It
honestly,
worked, man. Jinder went over.
Dude, honestly, like, I was watching this, was kind of on my phone, and I heard the bell ring, and I heard Mahal's music playing, and I was like, wait, no. I was like, no. Not like no, I didn't want him to win. It was just like, no, like, I was shocked. And I was like, Mom, Orton lost the title. She was like, to that Indian man? I'm like, yeah. She was like, what? It was crazy.
See,
it was crazy, man.
Even your mom to the Indian man was shocked. I mean, the whole internet was a buzz, right?
Man, the whole internet was a buzz.
Jinder Mahal is the WWE champion.
Jinder Mahal was the WWE champion. Like, I mean, really look at this. Scott Hall, Mr. Perfect, Roddy Piper never won a world title. Jinder did. He can.
He held the belt.
He held the strap.
Yeah,
the strap.
In sports entertainment.
Like that's the one, you know.
Top dog.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because like I always say this, like whoever's WWE champion, they're the best in the world. I mean, obviously, like AJ Styles, he's the best in the world with or without the strap.
Absolutely.
You know? But
even Chunky AJ in Saudi Arabia.
But then on like, there's always the like on a technicality, you know, whoever's WWE champion, they're the best in the world. Jinder, he has that accolade now, you know. He can say it, man.
Yeah, man, dude. It was a crazy time, right? And we've touched on this on previous podcasts, right?
Yeah.
When the fans want something different and they clamor for something different, and they finally get a taste of it, right? When Jinder Mahal, something entirely different, right? Never sniffed a main event picture at all in his entire career, and then outside of NXT, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden thrust into the main event picture and having the strap of straps.
The championship of championships, man.
Yeah. I mean, come on now. That was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it like people are like, oh, they're just trying to make waves in India, all that stuff.
Yeah, the network is brand new in India. He's clearly a push to get the world audience.
WWE, they went to India before Jinder was there. They went to India while he was there. They went there after he was gone.
And he jobbed at Triple H when they were in India.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not.
And that whole thing about like, oh, he's not Indian, he's Canadian. He's obviously Indian. Look at his pigmentation, like.
Yeah, of course.
I just gotta throw that in there. Like, people are just, I don't know. They just don't. They want something new all the time, and then once they get it, I don't like it. I don't like it. You know, I don't know about it. You know, it's kind of irritating.
I mean, it was a heel in a land where heels are few and far between. It's a monster heel that looks like a mega beast who walks out in a turban in 2018. In a culture in this country where, believe it or not, and I don't try not to get political, but you associate that, right, with whatever, right? And so he's a natural heel. The dude comes out and says he's the best. He opens up Raw and says he's the best when he switches over there. I truly believe Jinder believes it. The dude obviously works hard because he looks great. You know, I'm not finding too much shame in his game.
Yeah.
And then we get to Saudi Arabia. And you know where I'm about to get to, right?
Yeah, we'll hit that on another pod that's coming.
I mean,
we'll all right.
Oh no.
On the June 18th Money in the Bank pay-per-view in 2017, Mahal defeats Orton yet again, kind of trying to attack Orton's father, Bob Orton, and it was just really just Orton just tearing down Mahal and the Singh brothers outside for like 5 minutes and getting hit with a coloss.
Oh man, dude, I don't know if you guys remember this, but the way that Orton was treating the Singh brothers was downright
just messing them up, dude.
It was abusive, dude. I mean, can we give it up for Samir and what's the other dude's name? Sunil and Samir for freaking selling?
Man,
I mean, the sales of the year. I mean,
really?
God dang. Wow.
All right, and then we go to Battleground, July 23rd, 2017. Mahal defeats Orton yet again, this time in a Punjabi prison match with the help from the worst wrestler of all time, the Great Khali.
or AKA the match that you can't really see because through like 3 barriers of bamboo.
That was...
Whatever the hell that is, really? I mean, from a presentation standpoint, it just doesn't translate, right?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be Jinder Mahal's signature match. Give it up for the dude having a signature match. I hope that they perfect the Punjabi prison.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool. It's a cool idea. I mean, just give it one cage. I mean, give it one cage and some different rules and freshen it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then a heel has a signature match, right? A heel, and especially one like Jinder Mahal. I think he deserves that.
All right, so after his program with Randy Orton on the August 15th episode of SmackDown Live, Jinder Mahal loses to John Cena by disqualification with the help of Money in the Bank winner Baron Corbin. And then Corbin later goes on to cash in that same night, but is unsuccessful due to a distraction by John Cena. And Jinder Mahal rolls up Baron Corbin to cost Corbin his contract. He beat Randy Orton. He beat the Money in the Bank winner? Okay, come on, guys.
Pump the brakes on Corbin. That's what that was.
Oh, yeah, he got in a feud with Meltzer. You know, it was a whole thing there. that we'll get into that some other time. But Mahal started a feud with Shinsuke Nakamura over the championship, retaining at SummerSlam August 20th, 2017.
Yeah, beat Shinsuke Nakamura. People forget about that too.
Oh, yeah, he beat
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. He beat Nakamura. He beat the loved boy from Japan.
Yeah, you precious artist.
Man, don't get me started. So he goes on to beat I beat him also at Hell in a Cell, October 8th, 2017. And then we're getting towards Survivor Series and the whole champion versus champion thing with Brock versus Jinder. That was set to happen. Jinder called himself the Beastmaster.
Oh my gosh.
Jinder called himself the Beastmaster.
I was so upset this didn't happen, man. This was pumping the brakes to get AJ, a little bit of Brock and keep them apart, but give the people a big match to kind of elevate that pay-per-view, to elevate that SummerSlam to be something that special, right?
I don't know, man.
Or it was Survivor Series, right? Series, yeah. So, to elevate that Survivor Series. I would have loved to see these two go at it. We might get it now. It would have
been very interesting. You're right. But Mahal loses the WWE Championship to AJ Styles on the November 7th edition of SmackDown Live, ending Jinder Mahal's 170-day reign as champion. Mahal received his rematch against Styles at Clash of Champions December 17th, 2017, but lost by submission.
Yeah, never looking back. Once AJ has a strap, that's AJ Styles.
Let's really look at the WWE Championship run of Jinder Mahal. First of all, I gotta address the whole steroid thing or whatever. All right, so Vince, he had the whole court thing back in the 90s or whatever, right? I look at it like this. Vince McMahon, he's a lot of things, but he's not stupid. All right?
No, and the wellness thing is there for a reason, Podfather, right?
Yeah. I mean, guys Roman, his golden boy, got busted for Adderall. All right, AJ Styles can't even take medication for his sinuses and when he has a stuffy nose because it's going to show up in the wellness policy.
Yeah,
it's going to show up in the drug test.
I believe the wellness policy because Roman Reigns did get suspended, right?
Yeah,
that gives the
for Adderall.
Yeah, that gives the wellness policy some legitimacy, some validity.
It's tested through a third-party agency. It's random at any time.
Yeah.
And
you can't, and we're not in the room. We're not involved in this program. We're two jamotes sitting on a couch talking on a Sunday afternoon in my kitchen.
Exactly.
Jinder Mahal looks good because he works hard. That's all I can assume.
I'm gonna say it, man. Until the headline reads Jinder Mahal suspended for 30 days, fails a wellness policy for steroids.
For anabolic steroids or whatever.
Yeah.
The Winnies or whatever the fuck he's taking. GH, whatever the hell it is,
like I said, man, this is the most important championship in professional wrestling. Vince McMahon, Jesus, mother.
That's I think 2 for 2.
That's 2 for 2. I apologize for my
last 2 podcasts.
My mother, she just keeps calling me,
She loves you, man.
I know. All right, so look, Vince McMahon does a lot of things. He's not stupid. This is the WWE title, literally the most important championship in the business. Vince McMahon is not going to risk the reputation of his company and that title on the biggest jobber from 3MB. He's not going to do that.
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
Jinder got the push because he worked his ass off. He looked the way that he did.
People don't know this, but
he's a monster and he's a heel.
Jinder was on, I think it was either Lillian Garcia's pod or Jericho's pod. He was talking about how the push really came about, and Big Show had some runs with him on some house show circuits, and Show was like, "All right, you're gonna slam me tonight," kind of like a Hogan Andre slam thing, and really just listening to that, I'm like, "All right, this sounds pretty cool," Show was really gonna be the guy to kind of help get the kid over, and on house shows you get to see certain guys who don't really get the time to go, to really work or whatever, right? And I look at it like this. All right, Show was really trying to get the kid over, and he talks about how there was a pop or whatever. There was a pop when he slammed him, and they kept doing that routine throughout the little house show circuit. And I'm like, all right, that sounds cool. And I guess Vince got wind of it. All right, and then of course they did want to make some trips and tours of India, sure, but I look at it like this. If they really want to make a name in Japan, they're just gonna put the title on Shinsuke, just going to put the title on Asuka, Like, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, you can't be mad at the WWE for doing what they want with their product. I mean, they talk about how the fans are their ultimate barometer, the WWE universe, right? But at the end of the day, right, Vince is going to do what Vince wants to do, and if it was for a push into the Indian market to promote the network, then whatever. I feel like Jinder didn't do a bad job when he held the championship. Maybe it was a ho-hum feud with Randy Orton. But, I mean, he did dispose of Shinsuke Nakamura at the height of Shinsuke Nakamura-ness, right? Shinsuke had to repackage himself.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's the nutbuster, right? But, I mean, now there's a renewed love for Shinsuke. But when Shinsuke hit, and when he was facing off against Orton after his feud with Dolph Ziggler, those arenas were still singing him down every time.
Yeah.
But they weren't doing that for Jinder, right? Jinder got legitimate heat and legitimate boos.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that's understated in Jinder's run.
I know, because I look at it like Jinder Mahal, like that really last 3 weeks, I'm like, okay, And then, of course, obviously, maybe he should have won the United States title first.
I mean, and then he got racist, right? Remember, he got racist in that feud, and he got racist towards Shinsuke Nakamura.
That
talking
happens
about his slanty eyes or whatever.
Stuff like that happens in wrestling. I mean, Hunter Booker, WrestleMania 19. People like to bring that one up. The full fat shaming with Alexa and Nia. People like to talk about that.
They're fat shaming Samoa Joe right now.
Oh,
would you really look at Samoa Joe and call him fat? That man would beat your ass.
We'll get
on the spot.
We'll get into that. But I'm looking at it. Jinder, like the run. I mean, there's been worse world championship runs. Sid Vicious. I thank God. Like
Sheamus.
I mean, I don't really know about. Which run are you talking about?
First.
The first one? It wasn't really that bad. He lost it in the Elimination Chamber. It wasn't really that bad. The second one, it was good. He got the best match at a big show I've ever seen. The third one, he got people to cheer Roman. Actually, no, the fourth one, I'm sorry. He got people were cheering Roman Reigns in late 2015. They just don't want to admit it. So I really,
like around TLC.
Yeah, like they were cheering them in that match. They got them to turn them around.
Yeah.
So I don't really think Sheamus, Sid Vicious, Sergeant Slaughter. Who else? I mean, David Arquette. It counts. David Arquette's been the world champion. Vince McMahon, Vince Russo. So like
they said that Vince was heavily medicated during that time.
Probably. All right, so like there have been worse world championship reigns. Let's not just throw it on Jinder. Great Khali, he was just big. He was just there. There have been worse world championship reigns.
Man. He's a draw.
All right, but getting back into Jinder, really, February 20th episode, 2018 SmackDown. Mahal will call out the United States champion Bobby Roode. Where he's getting into the United States Championship picture.
That's the perfect belt for Jinder.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's a sweet spot for Jinder, right? That's where he needs to be, is around the Intercontinental, that U.S. belt. I mean, that's really where Jinder can shine.
Yeah. All right, so WrestleMania 34 just happened. Jinder Mahal became the United States champion in the Fatal 4-Way, defeating pinned Rusev, but also in the match was Bobby Roode and then champion Randy Orton.
Rusev.
Oh yeah.
And Randy Orton taking the belt off of Roode coming into WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was a perfect thing for Jinder to do, to pin Rusev.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
let's just kill all the heat on the hottest heater in the company.
Yeah, that was the way you do it, man. That was nice. Jinder Mahal is United States champion. I dug it. I really enjoyed it,
Yeah, but then what's up with the Jeff Hardy stuff?
Yeah. So the Superstar Shakeup happens a few weeks ago. Jinder Mahal comes over to Raw. I like the way he presented himself. Like, I'm your biggest asset. I'm more important than Lesnar. I was like, okay. Kurt makes him defend his championship. Jeff Hardy beats him. Jeff Hardy wins the United States Championship.
And takes it back to SmackDown.
Yeah, I talked about that on the pod. I don't know what happened there. I was like, oh my god. I was happy. I love Jeff Hardy.
Vince is looking around the locker room and he's all like, oh, Jeff, I remember that guy. Like, yeah. That's a main eventer.
Hey, Jeff made him a lot of money,
Yeah.
But I look at it like, oh my god, Jinder. Like, I felt bad for him, Because when he lost the WWE title...
1990s Jeff Hardy. That's who's taking him out right now, dude.
Because when he lost the WWE title, I'm like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to Jinder? Like, what are they? They invested all that time. What is going to happen to that guy? He wins the U.S. title. I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Loses it to Jeff. Jeff takes it to SmackDown. Has a rematch this past Friday at the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. And
the greatest botch of all time.
No, I think that goes to Titus O'Neil.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So it's unsuccessful. So we're gonna see, and plus he lost to Chad Gable this past Monday also. So like we're gonna see this past Monday at the time of this recording. What is this? April 29th, 2018. For you people who want to know when this was recorded, on a lovely Sunday afternoon. But yeah. So I don't know what's gonna happen with Jinder Mahal. I hope something changes. I really do, because he's a good talent. I could see him feuding with Seth Rollins. For the IC strap.
Yeah, that would be a good program. I could see a lot of good possibilities.
He concussed Finn Balor with a forearm before he moved over to SmackDown. So yeah.
I mean, who are the heels on Raw?
Jinder,
Kevin Owens,
Sammy. I'm trying to think.
Are we done already?
I don't know. Are we done? I can't even the roster's escaped my head. I can't even think right now.
We're missing somebody big, but I mean those are the three that come to the top.
Is Brock a heel at this point?
Brock's a spectacle, man. Brock's a champion.
Yeah, Brock's a whole other case.
Yeah.
Mojo Rawley's a heel. He's on SmackDown. I mean Raw. Mike Kanellis. They're popping in my name. I'm out my head as I go.
I mean that dude had the Santino spot in the Royal Rumble. I mean,
don't start
the Bushwhacker spot.
Yeah.
Get him the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Jinder's got to be the top heel on that program. I mean, depending on what they're gonna do with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I just don't see Kevin Owens and here's the point, right? When you just look on paper, when you see Brock Lesnar standing next to Kevin Owens, who's going to win in a fight?
Oh, Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, right? When Brock Lesnar stands next to Jinder Mahal, who's going to win in the fight? Right? It's a little bit more gray, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's just do the eye test, right? Jinder already had the belts of all belts, so Vince has signed off on him already. I mean, what does Vince think about that botch? Because Vince starts thinking crazy things with the littlest, tiniest little things.
Yeah.
But the presentation of that and the way that it was shot and directed, that didn't help Jinder out at all either.
No, it didn't.
Why was the camera behind him when Jeff Hardy's taken off from the top? I mean, let's talk about that a little bit. Whoever's directing that.
Yeah, that was Kevin Dunn. You stupid idiot. Stupid idiot. That's a whole other thing. But
come on. He's got to be in line to fight Brock.
That'd be interesting,
Finally get that Survivor Series match that we wanted.
Probably, you never know. I hope something good does happen for Jinder. 3MB, honestly, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see the reunion. Drew McIntyre is at a very special place right now. Heath Slater, he's Diesel to Shawn Michaels to Dolph Ziggler is Shawn Michaels. I mean, we'll do a wrestler analysis about him one day. You never know.
There's a lot to talk about when it comes to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, we talked some WWE, talked some TNA.
I hope that this podcast helps people kind of chill out on Jinder a little bit
if you
see some love for Jinder.
Yeah, if you listen to his interviews, he sounds like a really humble guy. I've listened to some stuff, read some fan reactions. He's a very humble guy. He's chill guy. When AJ did an interview and they asked AJ, how did Jinder react to losing the championship after all that time? He was like, Jinder understood what needed to be done, what was best for business. Jinder said, okay, and then how can I make this better? So I was like...
Yeah, Jinder doesn't strike me as a guy that's going into business for himself, right?
It's the world title. I'd go into business for myself, personally, But, he sounds like a really just chill and humble guy,
Yeah, a young dude learns his lesson, kind of leaves WWE, treads the water of that independent circuit where you're playing your armor.
I didn't even know he was on the Indies, honestly.
Yeah, of course, right? And then get repackaged when you come back. I mean, it's a good little story.
Yeah.
Jinder had the main belt last year for 6 months of the program.
Yeah, the championship of championships,
So, Jinder is definitely going to hang out around that upper mid card. and hopefully he can get put over.
Yeah.
Hopefully we haven't seen the best work from Jinder Mahal yet.
Yeah. There's some work to be done with Jinder, and I think it can be done on Monday nights. I think they can get something good out of him.
Yeah, and he can cut good promos. We've seen it before.
Yeah, he can cut some decent promos. He has some moves that he does in the ring where I'm like, oh god, like that jumping knee.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it looks vicious.
The jumping knee's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
AJ Styles made the Colossus look vicious.
Yeah.
You know, so like there's some work that can be done, you know.
For sure. And you know, and we're talking, what, is he a mouthpiece away from being something special again? Does Samir Singh need to... Which one is it right now? Which one of the brothers is with him?
The one that looks like a foot, I feel like, is Samir.
Okay, so Samir Singh.
Yeah.
Does he need to speak a little bit more for Jinder? Because that dude can cut promos. We've seen that.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever we had to do to put Jinder over again. I mean, the entrance is cool. The song is cool.
Yeah, the song is dope.
I love how the red carpet rolls out for Jinder.
Oh yeah, the song's gonna be playing us out in a few.
Yeah, you know, I give some love for Jinder, and he's not treading the waters in Raw. He's climbing. He's climbing.
Yeah, he'll climb that ladder. Maybe Money in the Bank. You never know. He'll climb that ladder again. I believe it. All right, this has been the wrestler analysis of the modern day Maharaja, my boy Jinder Mahal. Show some love for the boy Jinder. He sounds like a really chill dude. If I ever met him, I'd be like, dude, I respect what you did. I liked your reign with the championship. Everybody else didn't, but I did. You know?
Yeah, you know, for sure. I liked it too. You're not gonna catch any Jinder shade from me.
Man, exactly. All right, this has been another edition, another piece of content just provided by the Bulletcast. Chilling with the King of the Hill right now, making it happen.
Hey, who else is doing a breakdown on Jinder?
Nobody else.
No.
Nobody's showing love for the Maharaja.
So
I did one on Roman a while back, you know. I don't know who's next.
Man, we should do a series where we just call the mid card. Nobody steal it because you're breaking us off. But let's show some love to these dudes in the mid card and elevate them to the main.
Kurt
event.
Hawkins is coming next.
Oh my God. 0-200, baby.
Oh man, you'll see it. All right, this is the end of the pod. Chris, thanks for chilling with me, man.
No doubt.
All right, everybody, go praise the Maharaja.
शाने पंजाब ताड़ी नगरी दा लांदा गेड़ा मोती अखां च अख पाके वेखावे खो माई दा लाल गेड़ा जेड़ा सन्नु पावे रो गल तू पाही
This has been the Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.